Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Spiritual Transformer. So, today I want to talk about NPC syndrome. Um, I know I believe there's a medical definition for NPC syndrome, but that's not the one I'm talking about. The NPC in this case is a video game term, stands for non player character. So, for those who are unfamiliar, if you play a video game, any video game that's single player, right, you take control of a character and that character becomes the main character. That's the character you control. And by definition, everybody, or the other characters around your characters, are non playable characters, NPCs. And I hear about NPC syndrome here and there on the internet. It's usually when you call someone an NPC, it's usually derogatory, like they're sheep or something. Like they don't have control over their own actions and things like that. Um, Personally, I think NPC syndrome or calling anybody an NPC is, I think it's quite dangerous because it it dehumanizes them. I mean, if you're a player character, anybody who's played a single player video game understands that sometimes you kind of don't treat NPCs right. In Crimson Desert, sometimes I'm such a rush with my character that I just knock aside any NPCs, and yeah, we don't really want to see NPCs NPC syndrome in real life. We don't want to treat anybody as NPCs, but sometimes, on rare occasions, when I'm listening to spiritual material on YouTube and such, they do kind of reference NPCs sometime. Like, as in there are people out there who kind of really are NPCs. I don't know how else to say it. I personally don't like it because, like I said, I don't think we have an excuse to dehumanize anybody. None of the plants, none of the animals either, and definitely none of the people around us. I guess I guess maybe sometimes it's convenient to think of some people around the world as NPCs, especially you see a lot of suffering around the world. You kind of wish that, they were non-playable characters and they don't have to suffer. But I still think that's dangerous. I'm not going to treat anybody as an NPC or call them that. But sometimes I wonder if I'm an NPC. Like, I know that's really far out thing for me to say, but I'll try to clarify what I mean. The me you see now is not an NPC, but what about my past lives or maybe other lives that I'm currently living now as someone else? I mean, in the spiritual community, you hear that a lot. Like, past lives are a recognized thing, it's not in dispute. People actually do things like past life regression, where they talk to an expert and they regress themselves, like as some form of hypnosis, and they remember their past lives. Some people swear by this. I've never done a past life regression, even though I'm very interested and I want to. But there are other people who have done it, and it brings forth positive results. And they swear that they were who they were during the regression. They swear that they were this person in their past life, right? But for me personally, I've never had any direct experience with past lives. And as part of the spiritual community myself, well, yeah, I do believe in past lives. I think instinctively people kind of do believe it. We joke around all the time, like when something happens to us, oh, it must have been something I've done in my past life, and karma is catching up to me, whether that's good or bad. That's somewhat of a common saying. But again, I've never experienced any of my past lives. And I hear that sometimes, there are other versions of yourself even in the present time. Like, there could be someone halfway around the world that sort of like shares my soul or whatever, that it's one of my past lives. The only indication that I've ever had any kind of past life is when I went to consult with a channel. This was decades ago. And the channeler and the channeler being pretty much told me in no uncertain terms that I've had many past lives. I've been a man and a woman. I've been a saint and a sinner. Right? Okay. I don't quite know what to take from that. But if an outer dimensional being says I've had past lives, then who am I to argue? But honestly, I also feel that intuitive pull that I have some kind of past life too, which is why I don't mind doing a past life regression someday. But getting back on topic, when I say sometimes I wonder if I'm an NPC, I mean my past lives. I don't mean like the person you see right now. Definitely not an NPC. I'm in full control. But what about my past lives? I don't remember them. I'm not conscious of them. I'm conscious of this life and no other life. So does that mean if, as I believe, that I've had past lives, and there may be current versions of me wandering around in this particular moment somewhere around the world, then aren't they NPCs? Aren't they NPC versions of me? Because I'm not controlling them right now. I'm not even conscious of them right now. Sure, I may know of them, but I don't know their name. I don't know their history. I don't know their background. I know nothing. All I'm aware of is this life right here, right now, the life that I'm using to talk with you. So I'm kind of wondering, if someone bumps into me in the past, am I the NPC? Is my past life an NPC? And that's the question that I've been wondering for a very long time. I've always wanted to ask somebody this, but I never got the chance, and I don't even know who to ask. And the question is, why am I conscious of this life and not any other life, past or present, or even future? I mean, one of the things I teach you in the spiritual community is that there is really no time. Linear time is an illusion. It doesn't quite exist outside of this dimension. And if that's true, then I've also heard that what we do in this lifetime, our current lifetime, has an impact on all our lives, past, present, and future. It's a little hard to swallow for folks like you and me who's living in linear time, but hey, the teachers say it. I'm just going to roll with it for now. But again, I've never had direct experience of any of my past lives. So I really hate to say this, but what if, all my past lives, they're NPCs, And I wanted to ask the question, why am I conscious of this life right now, the life that I'm using now to talk to you? Why am I conscious of this life and no other life? It's kind of crazy. And I've been listening to spiritual material in the community for a very, very long time. Okay, not a very, very long time. I've only gone real hardcore about end of 2024. But hey, in the entire year that I listen to this stuff, and I dabble in it every day. I dabble in this material every day. I've never heard a single person ask this question. And I've never heard a response. I think I hear something that's close, but not quite, right? Just something that we shrink our focus to focus on this life, or I also hear that if you're living a conscious life right now, it's the life that your higher self or maybe your oversoul, I don't know the details, chose that conscious life to focus into with the consciousness. And that's the closest I've ever got. That's the closest I've ever got to an answer to the question why I am aware and conscious of this life. I'm in full control of this life, but I have nothing on my other lives. And that's as close as I've got. It's just this life, the life that I'm conscious of, is like the main life. the number one life, the life that's supposed to affect all the other lives. So, um, does that mean I have main character syndrome then? That I'm the main character and all my other lives are NPCs? It's so weird. This video is really, really weird. I'm not entirely sure I'm comfortable with everything I'm saying, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. To me, it's a big mystery why I'm conscious of this life and no other life. And I'm wondering if my other lives are NPCs and if I have main character syndrome. Okay, I don't have main character syndrome. I don't, because I think there's, I think everybody out there is conscious, right? That's what I believe. That's what I think. So, yeah, you know what? I don't have the answers. I have none of the answers for this. So I'm just going to leave it here. And, well, food for thought, right? So if you find this video interesting, please hit that subscribe button if you like it. And the like button too. And you've been watching The Spiritual Transformer, and I will see you next time. Peace.